Hello and happy birthday to all of the October Libras out there. Welcome to your tarot card reading for October 2023. Hello Libra and welcome to your October reading. So we're going to go ahead and get started here with an oracle card just to get the ball rolling here. Let's see what comes through. All right. This is biting through. Take decisive action, restore order, force applied with sensitivity, justice, tenacious devotion to a task. Beautiful. So this is really about just getting it done, which I think this Libra season is so good for that, especially when we have Mercury coming into your sign as well. When Mercury comes in, it's not going to be the strongest planet in the chart so much anymore. I mean, it has its moments, but it's going to cool Mercury down, which is good because it's going to add to focus. It's going to add to longevity where we can really sit down and apply ourselves in more deep and meaningful and balanced ways. I think Mercury in Virgo can be a really chaotic placement a lot of times, especially because we had a retrograde in there and everything. And so this is that moment to just buckle down and be disciplined and be focused as much as you possibly can. When Mars comes into Scorpio on the 12th, Mars is going to jump to the very top of the chart in terms of strength. And when Mars is in Scorpio, it has a tendency to have an obsessed nature. And that obsession, when applied to something that is good and productive and healthy in your life, can actually move the needle forward quite substantially. So I have a feeling, Libra, that you're in a position right now to just be able to finally see the progress with the projects and the goals and the ambitions that you have that you've been dying to see, especially if you've been feeling stagnant. You know, if you've been feeling stagnant or you've been feeling stuck between Libra and Scorpio seasons through October and then on into November as well, this is going to be a time where that changes. But devotion, I love this, tenacious devotion to a task is what this says, okay? To have tenacity with the way you go forward with things and to take decisive action. I love that for you because I think that's what you're craving. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the environment is like for Libra. Hold your vision. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense when you're trying to achieve a goal. You have to keep that goal in mind. Now, the vision can be more short term or it can be long term, depending on where you are in your journey. Sometimes short-term goals make things more digestible. And when we have something that we feel it doesn't seem so overwhelming, we're more likely to pursue it. So I would say that your long-term vision should be driven by short-term goals, but the focus should be on the more short-term goals. All right, what can you do today? What can you do tomorrow? What can you do this week in order to move that needle? And I think that's really going to be the main message for Libra, is moving the needle. Maybe I'll even name the reading that, but to move the needle forward. So let's see what comes through with the tarot cards here. We have beautiful King of Swords. I love that. We have the Lover's card. And the Three of Coins. So first of all, the Lovers is a card ruled by Mercury. All right. It's a Gemini card. And in its most fundamental meaning, like canon, in all the tarot books and all the teachings that you'll ever receive about the Lover's card, there's always that quality of choice. And this is kind of carryover, I think, from Virgo season and probably will continue to carry over into Scorpio season as well. The choices that we make are so important right now, okay? And they always are. I mean, let's be honest, it's life. Yes, choices matter. But we need to understand that the choices that we're making right now are what's driving the needle forward. So we want to make sure that we're doing it in our best interests for our own well-being and for the well-being of people around us. There does seem to be an element of collaboration here for Libra as well, where perhaps you are busy, you're working with other people, you're gaining knowledge, you are bringing other people into the projects, whatever the case is. But the collaboration, make sure you're collaborating with the right people. Make sure you're getting advice from the right people. Make sure that you are surrounding yourself and listening to and consuming all the right things that help aid you in your endeavor. I feel the Lovers is also an internalized union where you yourself feel whole. And I'm not saying your life is perfect. I'm not saying you're perfectly happy with everything in your life, but I think you're at a good place where you internally can make whatever it is you want happen. You can actually make it happen. You don't need more healing. You don't need more growth or self-development. Like, you're in a really, really good place. And I see that strongly with the King of Swords as well. It's a good time for Libra to feel confident in what they're doing, even if it's something they've never done before. You don't need more education right now. Now, I'm not saying you have to stop educating yourself or stop learning. That's pretty much also what life is. We're always learning all the time. But like, let's say there's a certain task that needs to be accomplished, and in order to do that task, you had to learn some type of a new skill. Well, if that's the case, I would say that the development of that skill is at a point where it shouldn't prevent you from moving forward. I don't see anything preventing Libra from making things happen. And if you are saying, well, I have this big wall in front of me, it's possible you're not necessarily looking at things with an optimistic perspective. And there might be a little bit of, I hate to say it this way, this sounds really harsh, and I'm not trying to like point fingers or lecture or anything, but it feels a little self-deprecating, okay? You're capable. You're fully capable, you're fully ready, you're fully prepared. And look, if you are feeling like you're lacking, you can supplement that with other people as well. You don't have to expect yourself to know everything, because there are others that likely know more than you do. I mean, that's just a given. That's a fact. Other people do know more than you do. And you can rely on them, and you can reach out to them, and you can continue to learn from them in order to get your stuff done, in order to complete your goals. Okay, but I do think you have the green light. You have the green light. Green means go. You get to just go, but you have to push on the gas pedal if you want your vehicle to move. Okay, you have to push on that gas pedal. So it's time. And I think you actually want to. You know, I think you're tired of preparing, you're tired of thinking, you're tired of brainstorming, you're tired of feeling, you just want to see it done. Hanged Man, yeah, because I suspect you have been delayed for quite some time, and you have been see Prince of Wands in the very center of the reading. I love that. You have been delayed, and the Hierophant. You have felt hung up, hands tied behind your back. You weren't ready. Circumstances weren't ready. The external world, it wasn't the right place. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right people. So I think you're well versed in this, and you know that right now is a little different than where you've been. You're not really there anymore. That delayed period was required to help you come into that higher consciousness, though. It helped you, give you the time to learn, gave you the time to align yourself properly, gave yourself time to mentally prepare, or to, you know, prepare your environment, whatever it is. It gave you time to prepare. And, you know, that preparation was good and it's necessary, but now Prince of Wands, boom, it's time to take flight, as we see here he is on the Phoenix. Okay, it is time to take flight. It is time to rise. It's not time for Libra to stay hidden in the shadows. And I actually like the fact that we have a dragon on this card. This, by the way, is from the Tao or Tao Oracle. If you want to, it's a really cool deck. It's a new one that I just got. And I just love the dragon spirit. It's fiery, it's aggressive, it's self-possessed. You know, it doesn't feel defeatist in any way. So to have a dragon being represented and a phoenix being represented in the very center of the reading, it is truly time for Libra to rise up. And this could be in some small way. It doesn't have to be some massively huge thing, okay? It could just be something small that only you know about in your little world, or it can be more public. Although I do think Libra is going through a lot of very private stuff right now with Jupiter in the 8th house. It's not the most public house. But with Jupiter in the 8th retrograde, right, we have the Phoenix quality there, which is so beautiful. So don't be afraid to rise. Don't be afraid to kind of spread your wings and try to fly. And you may have a little bit of falter. Sometimes it is hard to come down off this tree, right? Because we've been hung up for so long. We've been suspended for so long that we don't always get our bearings right away when we come down off of that hanging position. So it's okay if you kind of have to, if there's a little bit of a fumble, but it's what you do in light of that fumble that kind of defines you in this moment. It's the choice that you make. Okay, so you fumble, so what? A King of Swords does not sit there and fumble once and then say, oh my gosh, never mind, I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it. Obviously, a King of Swords would never do that. Okay, a King of Swords would fumble and say, what can I learn from this to improve better, right? He holds his vision very, very well. And I do think it's important for Libra to continually remind themselves of their vision if they actually want to move that needle, which I know you do. Because with the Hierophant, this is really, in a lot of ways, your truest self. In a lot of ways, it's the core truth that we all hold about who we are and our own internal divinity. It's an unbendable, unbreakable reality, right, that exists beyond the perceptions of this world. We're all connected to that, and sometimes we come back to it. And when we rise up like this is us walking in our truest truth. This is us not walking in fear. You know, and that whole period of preparation that you've gone through, I think really was allowing space for you to confront your fear and then do it anyway. But this is fearless. We fearlessly move that needle forward. And no one has to see this. Literally no one. This can be a private endeavor if you need it to be. Okay? You can get started quietly in your house, in the privacy of your world, in the privacy of your bedroom. You can get started in the privacy of your office. You can do this thing way, way, way behind the scenes. It doesn't matter. This doesn't require public acknowledgement. This is internal. You proving to yourself that you can. It's an internal competition, so to speak. Not that you're competing against yourself, but maybe you actually are. Maybe you're competing against who you used to be. Proving to yourself that you're no longer that person. And in order to prove that, you have to start doing different things. But you're so aligned with your truth here. If you are feeling confused, or if you are feeling afraid, I would say, figure out how to break down the bigger vision, kind of backwards engineer it, right? So let's say you have a 10-year goal. Okay, well, you can break it into 5 years and then 1 year and then 6 months and then 1 month and then 1 week. Okay, so what needs to be done this week, right? You can put together a really practical plan on a week-to-week basis, and it will change over time, but at least it will give you some semblance of like an iron rod to hang on to. Okay, but hold that vision, and the vision is aligned with your truth, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be your vision to begin with. So you can trust the vision that you have in your life, and you can trust your ability to do the small things that ultimately make up the bigger vision, right? A weekly or a daily task pales in comparison to a 10-year goal. But you can digest that 1-day goal, that 2-day goal, that weekly goal. You can digest it. You can do it. All right? So this is a lot of belief that you can. And then you actually do. You can, therefore you do. Your vision, you can have all the doubt in the world. But if your vision is strong, then doubt doesn't matter. If your plan is strong, doubt doesn't matter. And when I say plan, I know that life is life, and I know that things get in the way, but you can deal with that when it comes. But having a plan in place helps you with stability, helps you with discipline. And right now, discipline is going to be put to good use. So we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Empress, which is a card associated with Libra because of the Venus qualities there. Seven of Wands, I don't know, it feels very protected. Like you are really protected right now, Libra, against any kind of threats, any kind of, like, because you may be thinking that if I do this, well, you may be trying to project all of the things that could go wrong. You know, you're trying to protect yourself from things that can go wrong. This is not a time to waste doing that. I'm not saying to be stupid about stuff, or I'm not saying to be haphazard. You can still think things through and be intelligent about things. It is an air season after all. It is Libra, right? Air, cardinal air. There's an intellectual quality, a cerebral quality, right? So it's not about ignoring logic. But it's also, you know, a good time to just say, well, I can only prepare so much for all these bad things, and I don't want to sit and prepare for all the bad things. I'd rather take all that energy and just do the good things instead, and deal with the bad things when they come up, deal with the unexpected consequences, deal with, you know, whatever, or even the unintended consequences. We'll deal with those when those things arise. And that's the most that you can do. And I don't see Libra spending a lot of time. I just it kind of feels like a bring it on kind of energy. Okay, universe, just bring it on. Feels very strong and warrior-like. Remember, we do have eclipses this month as well. And what's interesting is with this set of eclipses, well, specifically the new moon solar eclipse, which is in your sign on the 14th, which is at 21 degrees of Libra. When we have, sorry, I'm just thinking, because that's going to be like the moon coming across the sun. And the sun is already very weak in your sign. It's in its fall position. This is not really a time of the self-expression of the ego. It's very hard to be in ego right now because the ego is just simply not strong. So a lot of what's being pushed forward is more divine, as I see with this Empress. A lot of these ambitions, they're from a much bigger place. And pride and fear being functions of ego, which they have their place, they're just simply not really at play right now. And that's why I think you have that kind of bring it on energy, because you know that you are divinely protected the way we all are. And because of this sort of subtle fearlessness, if I can say it that way, I look at this Ace of Cups and I see extraordinary blessings coming your way. And I see something that's going to make you happy coming your way too. And I think that's just a really beautiful moment to, I don't know, to let in, I guess we could say. But all this is going to require this tenacity, this tenacious devotion to a task, taking decisive action. Okay, and I even like that the word justice is used on this card as well, seeing as how it is Libra season. And justice is a big part of the Libra archetype. You are moving the needle because that is what the scales of natural law demand. It demands that you get out of that comfort zone. It demands that one side of the scale that has had too much time and energy, attention, right? You have to kind of take it out of that bucket and start putting it into a new bucket. Things have to change because the scales of justice are demanding it. And because your vision also demands it. And because the knowing of your soul also demands it. And because of that, because you're following that, you will see abundance come your way. The Empress and the Ace of Cups indicates an emotional success and a material success as well. I do not see loss for Libra. Okay, now the one thing you do need to be worried about a little bit is Venus coming into the 12th house. Sometimes Venus in the 12th can incur expenses or loss. All right, so just please keep that in mind, but don't worry, that's a really, really temporary situation. Venus does not like to be in Virgo, and it tends to be a little bit more imaginative than it normally is here. And so it's just kind of an uncomfortable place for your ruling planet to be. She already just went through her retrograde in Leo. Now she's coming out. She's going to be in her most uncomfortable sign. And then eventually she will make her way into her sign of rulership, your sign. Okay? That's not until November. So watch your wallets. Watch your spending. Unless that spending is an investment, all right, and can be leveraged into creating value. Don't be afraid to lose a little bit if it creates value. Like, for example, you own a business and you need some kind of an equipment. So you need a machine for something, and that's going to up and ramp up your productivity so that you can sell more, so you can profit more. That's a good expense. That's a good loss. But if you're just racking up the credit card debt, that's probably not a good thing to be doing right now. You want to make sure that what you're doing and what you're spending and what you're sacrificing for is for the greater vision of your life. All right. And the King of Swords is certainly going to have that self-control to know the difference, and it's choices. Please keep in mind the importance of your choices. Okay. All right, Libra. So let's go ahead here and where's my deck? Okay. We are going to clarify. So for those of you who are new, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards I'm about to pull out in the comprehensive reading. The link for that will be found in the description box down below. There are a few options for you to access it, so please make sure you read down there. Yeah, I already said we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes, so it's kind of like a whole second portion, whole second reading. So let's go ahead and see what comes through so we know what we're going to be talking about. So firstly, okay, a couple major arcanas, or major arcana card for this biting through card. Another ace, Knight of Wands, similar to here in the very center of the reading. For the environment, I'm not going to take all those, but we'll take that one. It's time for you to leave this place, Libra. Beautiful. Loving the Emperor. Okay. So what else for Libra? What does Libra need to know about this King of Swords? Eight of Cups. Knight of Coins. And Three of Swords. I feel like you've kind of hit, I guess we could say, a pain threshold. Four of Wands, Ace of Coins, and Four of Coins. Three of Wands, Page of Coins, Two of Swords, Queen of Swords, which is the Libra, or one of the cards associated with Libra, and a Queen of Coins, Page of Swords, Six of Swords, Three of Cups, Eight of Coins, Ten of Swords. Oops, hold on. I don't know, I see you just working really hard. But I see that you care. I think you really care about this work. It matters to you. It's amazing what we can do when we're doing something that matters to us, when we're doing something that changes our life or changes the circumstances that we don't like. It's amazing how much dedication we're able to give to something. Page of Cups, Two of Coins, King of Swords, and the Lovers. Beautiful. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up. So if you want to join me, you are more than welcome. Everything, again, like I say, is in the description box down below. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.